Hello there and welcome back to the channel. So today I am checking out the DX19, the Dark Knight as he appeared from the Dark Knight Trilogy, specifically the Dark Knight Rises. He is a deluxe figure, the 19th in the series from Hot Toys. He is a recent release. I got mine from William Wang. He is the only guy that I deal with now for my figures. He's an absolute legend, particularly for guys in Australia. If you are not familiar with him, I'll put a link to his Facebook group in the description. When it comes to 1/6, 1/4 or even statues, he can get what you need and his prices are absolutely fantastic, so please do check him out. So this is a deluxe figure and he comes with a plethora of accessories, so let's take a quick look at them. Okay, so here he is out of the box with all his accessories, and being a DX figure, he comes with quite a lot of accessories indeed. So starting off, the cape is actually off the figure when you get the box, so you could count that as an accessory, and it just clips into the shoulders. I'll go over that when we look a little bit closer at the actual figure itself, but just quickly, so first off, he comes with this very nice stand. It's a kind of like a resin or a softish plastic, has the Batman emblem in stone here and looks like some snow. The only thing about this which is a little bit weird, they went with a reuse. So we've seen these stands before, the DX13, I think even the Terminator, Battle Damage Terminator from Terminator 1 had the same stand, and probably a few others. And typically these here at the front are lights and they can just move, and on the bottom you stick the batteries in, but this doesn't have that. This feature doesn't work at all, so I think that's a little bit lazy. They could just have taken them off. Why include them if they're not going to work? So that's a little bit weird and a bit disappointing, but apart from that, it does look nice. And he also comes with a crotch grabber that just goes in on the back there. And then in terms of heads, very, very generous with the heads. So he comes with the head that's on the figure, and he also comes with an alternate head sculpt here. And this head sculpt actually has a light up feature. The batteries were a challenge to get in, as they always are with Hot Toys, but the light up feature is actually quite impressive. It's quite bright indeed. So he does come with 6 batteries, 3 for the head and then 3 for his rifle. And let's just have a quick look at that. I know it's not a rifle. I think it's like an EMP or something. I can't actually remember what it is. So the other batteries go in here and they just slot into this portion here. And it's actually much easier to get these in, but the light is actually super underwhelming. So that's it. Yeah, that's a little bit weird, but while we're on this, just have a quick look at it. So it's all solid plastic, however this piece here actually does have this cock action. Very nice. Yeah, so quite unremarkable, all just this matte black. There's no real detail to it. It's a nice sculpt. I haven't seen the Dark Knight Rises for quite some time, so I can't recall at what point in the movie he has this, but nice to see it included. He also comes with this very nice Bruce Wayne sculpt. I have seen some of the other Batmans from the Dark Knight Trilogy that Hot Toys have put out, and I have to say this is easily the best Bruce Wayne head sculpt that we've got so far. Very, very nice indeed. You can easily tell that it's Christian Bale. Really nice detailing in the hair sculpt. He's also got these flecks of imperfections in the skin. Very, very nice. And then he also comes with 4 different face plates, interchangeable for either of the cowled sculpts. So this one here, just slightly pursed lips. And this one here, more of a grimace or an aggressive look. Teeth are really well done in there. And then he also has this like a duck pout that Christian Bale tends to do in the movie. I don't really like this. I don't know why they included it, but he does do that in the movie. And then also the one that's actually on the figure, which is just a straightforward plain pose. He also comes with, I think this is the sticky bomb gun, and this is actually quite interesting. It all comes apart, and then you also have a handle that opens up, and then a magazine, or rather a handle that comes down, and then you open it out like so. So it's actually pretty nifty. And while we're on that, he also comes with 2 sticky bombs. Like I said, it's been a while since I've seen the movie. I think they're sticky bombs. So 2 of these sticky bombs. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think they are sticky bombs or mines. Just solid plastic, nice sculpting on it with the silver triggers coming out. And then he comes with 3 of his batarangs. It's a plastic, but it does actually have a wash on it, so it looks like bronze. And then this is the color when you pop in the Bruce Wayne sculpt. So that obviously comes off, as does the neck, and then you just pop this in, and I'll get to that a little bit later. And then he also comes with several interchangeable hands. So 2 fisted hands, which are on the figure, and then he comes with a left holding hand to grip any of the items. These hands are actually very well done. Not only is there like a gloss matte on the knuckles, he's also got it on the fingertips and the thumb tip as well. And then a left open hand, a right holding hand, and finally a right batarang hand. I believe that's for the batarang. And lastly, he does actually come with a grapple gun, which is just on the back of the figure here. This is a very nice inclusion, very nicely done. The sculpting is really good, and also I particularly like that they've gone with this like a metallic gold, and then at the front they've given them some more detail with the silver, and it does actually have a pump action as well. Yeah, that's very nice. So all in all, the accessories are excellent. Okay, so let's take a close look at the figure, starting off with the cape. As I said before, the cape was off the figure in the box, and it is a nice cape. It's a very, very nice soft material. It does feel like it's 2-ply, but it's not. It's just single. I will say though, I'm surprised that Hot Toys still don't put wires in their capes. They must be aware that people are getting custom capes, particularly for their Batman figures. So I don't know why they haven't jumped on that yet. And I don't know if there are custom capes already for this figure, but you can guarantee there will be, and I'll certainly be getting one. That being said, this is not a bad cape at all. So it actually has quite an ingenious mechanism. So at the top there are these hooks, and they just fold underneath the actual material, and then that just goes in and underneath the collar. And it's a very, very nice way of doing it, but I only think that they can do it because of the tactical look here. I don't know that something like that would work with the Ben Affleck Batman or the Keaton Batman. So I can see why it's afforded here, and it does work very, very well. So before I take a close look at the actual body, let's just take a close look at that head. So if you are familiar with DX figures, then you'll be familiar with this feature. It's the magnetized neck peg. Now this is something which I have absolutely loved. The first time I experienced it was with the DX, I think it was the 17, the Darth Maul, and foolishly I thought, Hot Toys are going in another direction, all their figures are going to have this, but no, it seems to be reserved mainly for the DX figures. That being said, I have seen it on the upgrade suit Spider-Man from Far From Home, and that isn't a DX figure, so some get it, some don't. And I just think it's great, particularly if you've got an Armored figure where you can afford to have that seam. It's no big deal at all, and it just allows for much more articulation. But also something which is also in keeping with the DX figures are the movable eyes. So you get this peg that comes with the figure, and one portion of it there just pops out the faceplate. And then the other side here, that's for the eyes. Now I'm not going to do too much with the eyes at all, because I always stuff it up and then I can never get the look back. But you can essentially just put it in underneath, and there are 2 pegs, or rather 2 sockets, and you can rotate the eyes. So that's great that they've kept that in. And then just quickly, in terms of putting on the alternate head sculpt, the neck just pops out, and then the Bruce Wayne head has this collar, and that just goes straight in. It does look a little bit tight to begin with, so you just want to shimmy up a touch, and there you go. Perfect. Okay, so let's take a close look at the wardrobe. Now, I will just start off by saying that I am not a fan of this look. Please don't hate me in the comments. I'm not talking about the, it's not a criticism to Hot Toys at all. This is a design from the movie. I didn't like the suit from Dark Knight, and I don't like this one from Dark Knight Rises. I can understand why they went with it. It's got more of that tactical edge to it, but also I think there was some issues with Christian Bale. He couldn't move freely in the Batman Begins suit. But for me, that suit was just so much better. And I am aware that Hot Toys are releasing a 1/6, a newer 1/6 Batman Begins Batman. I don't know that there is one currently. I know that there's a 1/4. Anyway, when that comes out, I definitely have to hit up William Wang and grab one of those, because that is just the best suit in the series for me. That being said, in terms of the movie accuracy, it is absolutely spot on. They have really, really nailed it. I've gone back and I've looked at that movie, and they have really, really paid attention to detail. So in terms of the actual suit itself, it has like this very tactical, as I said before, Kevlar armored look to it. And the way that they've done that, or the way that I think they've done that, is there's this matte black sculpting that is on the top here, and then it also features throughout. But interchanging is this cleared plastic, and underneath is a patterned fabric or a patterned plastic, and it gives it that Kevlar look to it, and it just works flawlessly. And you can see it here on the chest and then on the abs, and it's also down the legs here as well. But in terms of the actual suit itself, so this is all a soft plastic, so it's not going to impact articulation too much. And likewise for the shoulder plates, they've been put on these elasticated straps, so again, it's not going to hinder articulation. So really, really well done there. Also, moving down to the gauntlets, these are some of the best gauntlets I've seen on a Batman figure. They just look the nuts. They look so, so cool. I did almost cut myself on them because they're a little bit sharp, so be careful, but overall these just look awesome. And then moving down, I do like his belt. This again is spot on to the movie. They've gone for this this dull gold look, or a bronze look to it, with these silver detailings in out, and then they've got all of his gadgets on there. None of it is movable. It's all solid piece, or rather they're all glued on. But something that is a feature on the back, this is obviously for his Batarang weapon, his grapple hook, sorry, and that just tucks in there, so it works really, really well. The only criticism I would have, and it's a very, very slight criticism, is mine has a tendency to ride up. And perhaps not that high, but it has a tendency to ride up, and that's no big deal. I can just push it down, it's not a problem at all. And then moving down, now in terms of the pants, again, don't get me wrong, the movie accuracy is there, it is spot on. This is not a criticism to Hot Toys, but I really don't like this look. Even in the movie, the pants just look weird. They look like tights with just pieces of armor slapped on, and essentially that's exactly what it is. So, you know, 10 points to Hot Toys, but in terms of the design, no, it's not something which I like. And then the knee pads, again, that Kevlar look to it. And then moving down the boot, I do like this, and whenever Hot Toys do this with boots, I always prefer it. Rather than have one piece and risk bending the actual material at the ankle, they have a cut, and I do prefer that, and this is no exception here. They've done that. So this portion across the shin, it's one piece, and then the boot is another piece. So all in all, they've done a fantastic job. Okay, so now let's run over the articulation. As I said before, in terms of the neck, because of the magnetized feature, you're going to get heaps of articulation. It's basically limitless. It can go all over the place, and that's the same for the other cowled sculpt with the light up feature as well. But that being said, that doesn't mean that the Bruce Wayne sculpt has bad articulation. It's obviously not as good, but it's still quite good. You get a whole bunch of down, a good amount of up, and then you get complete 360 rotation. So also very good articulation there for the head. In terms of the shoulders, there is about that much in terms of up. You're not going to get much more. You could shimmy up a touch more, I guess. that's probably about it. There is a little bit of stress here, even though this suit is elasticated, so you could get a bit more, but that's probably about as much as I'm willing to go. And in terms of the elbow, it is just it's a double jointed elbow, so you can get all the way up, and then obviously full rotation at the peg. You also get some bicep swivel, but again, not too much because of the suit. And in terms of ab crunch, for a figure that's decked out in armor, you do get decent ab crunch. I'm not going to go too much because it's a brand new figure and I don't want to stress it, but you could go a touch more, and then likewise you could also get a fair amount back. And again, this is a soft rubbery plastic, so it does allow for articulation. It doesn't hinder it too much. And then at the legs, you do get quite a generous amount of up. Again, there is some stress here, but it's because it's elasticated, it's not going to be too bad. But my big concern, I mean, why would you have him in this pose? You know, you're not going to. But my concern would be that this is bunching up here, and if that's left like that for a while, it's going to look hideous. But you also get some swivel, not too much again because of the suit. And then at the knee, there is a double jointed knee. Yep, double jointed, but again, it's going to bunch up here, so you want to be a bit cautious. And then you do get some rotation below the knee, and then obviously you get full rotation at the ankle. I don't tend to put my Batman figures in any dynamic poses. They tend to have that stoic look, just sort of standing there, you know, just sobbing over their dead parents, and that's enough for me. But if you wanted to have him in a dynamic pose, you're not going to go nuts like Spider-Man, but you could, and this guy does afford it. Just tread lightly, particularly with this suit. I don't know if this is going to stand the test of time. It does look like it's a good quality, but who knows, it remains to be seen. So overall, articulation is very, very good. And finally, just for a bit of fun, a quick comparison. So here he is with Batfleck and the '89 Keaton Batman. So let me know in the comments which is your favourite Batman and which is your favourite Hot Toys Batman. So my final thoughts on the DX19 Batman. Whilst I mainly have positive things to say, there are a couple of negatives. Starting with the positives, as a deluxe figure, the DX19 has everything we've come to expect with a DX. Beautiful box design, extra face sculpts, articulated eyes, that magnetic head, not to mention a wealth of accessories. The figure itself also doesn't disappoint. Great articulation for what is essentially an armoured figure, and the overall design is spot on. But when it comes to negatives, man, that stand. What's going on there? How did that get past QC? Was it just a case that it was too far into production before they realised that it doesn't work? Or maybe I missed something. Also, the light feature on the EMP is so underwhelming, I'm not sure why they even bothered. Now I know these are minor gripes, but as a DX, their standards really should be a little bit higher. If it was an MMS figure, it would be a straight up top shelf, but because it's not, it's a mid-shelf figure.